this video, I'll be talking about the anime Chobits. Let's get this party started. So yeah, since today's Tuesday, it's anime day. Woo! Like, I decided to do Chobits because it's basically on my list of animes that I've watched, because I'm currently watching a few animes, but I would have to complete it in order to kind of get into detail about it. I think I've done Chobits, but I can't remember exactly if I did it or not, or if they deleted it or something. But yeah, Chobits is about Persicoms, which is this thing. She's basically a robot. More like an android. Let's say android. So she's basically an android. And humans basically fall in love with them. I don't know why, but apparently to keep this PG-13, they're almost like human. They talk, they walk, they don't eat, but I really don't want to get into it. I don't want to get an age restriction, but yeah. Basically, humans and Persicoms, they kind of have a relationship, in a sense. A weird relationship, but yeah. So the story is basically about this guy that he moves from a farm to the city to get a job. And then when he arrives in the city, he sees these Persicoms, which is these robots. Literally, you could buy them. They're like personal computers. That's why they call Persicoms, because they're personal computers. Basically, they're kind of like people. They feel like kind of like human tissue. They talk, walk, they do everything a human can do. Besides eat. They don't eat. I'm not too sure, but it's weird. I've never seen a Persicom eat, but yeah. I could get into detail because I have the application on my iPhone. So, okay, here we go. As the synopsis: when computers start to look like humans, can love remain the same? Okay. Ooh, it's a long one. So basically, I could try to get a picture of the main character. Just give me a second. Perfect. There we go. So the main character is this guy. His name is Hideki Motosuwa. There we go. I'm just trying to move this. There we go. So his name is Hideki Motosuwa. He comes from a farm, so he doesn't know a lot of things. So basically, when he makes it to the city, he sees these Persicoms and he says, yes, I want to buy one. Not in a perverted sense that, this anime is kind of perverted in a sense, because humans just buy Persicoms to play with their jumbly parts. Let's just keep it at that. So basically, he wants to buy one because he thinks that they're very cool and they could do everything a computer could do, or human, being that they're robots. So he basically gets a job, and he starts working as not a chef, like a waiter at a restaurant. And in the first episode, he finds her like completely covered. She's like completely naked, but covered in tape. I don't know why, but yeah. So then he actually think it's a person, but it's not. So he sees her and he says, "Help, help, help, help," and nobody comes to help him basically. So he basically sees that she's a Persicom because she's wearing those weird looking things, like weird ear things. They're not really ears, they're like things you could connect to her basically, like a computer, you know. So he sees that it's just a Persicom, so then he picks her up. He's like, oh, she's really heavy. Of course she's heavy. She's a 200-pound robot, I guess, or computer thingy. So then he carries her home and he tries to find out where is it that you turn her on, whether it's in the eye, in the ear, in the belly button, and these parts, and the armpit, and then oh, and by the way, he actually loses the manual CDs that he's supposed to put in her so she could properly function to talk and stuff. Because if not, she will be completely defective, in a sense. He loses that by mistake, which is crazy, but yeah. So after he takes her home, he tries to press all over the place in her butt, a lot of different things, and then he finally finds out that it's in her pie hole area thing. There's a button inside that you would have to press, and then she would turn on. But yeah, I didn't mean to be inappropriate, but yeah, it's inside her girl parts. So after he turns her on, she's like looking at him, and then the only thing she could say is Chi. And his name, that's it. She's like Chi, 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 Chi all over the place, and then she says Hideki, Hideki. Like it's hilarious. And basically, as the story unfolds, he starts to find out that Chi, after being able to talk, she gets a new program, and she has a new learning software that allows her to read and to comprehend, and then she be able to talk like a regular human. And then her name is Chi. That's what he calls her, because her real name is Freya, I think, yeah. Because she's supposed to be a military Persicom, you know, like for war, like fighting, like a fighting Persicom, which is weird, but they find that out later on in the story. So let me get back to. Yeah, okay, here we go. Hideki Motosuo is a young country boy who is studying hard to get into college. Coming from a poor background, he barely can afford the expenses, let alone he can barely afford the expenses, let alone the newest fad Persicoms. Persicomputers that exactly like human beings. One evening while walking home, he finds an abandoned Persicom. After taking her home and managing to activate her, she seems to be defective, as she can only say one word, Chi, which eventually becomes her name. Unlike other Persicoms, however, Chi cannot download information onto her hard drive. She doesn't have the disk that they put into her, apparently. Eventually becomes her name. Unlike other Persicoms, however, Chi cannot download information onto her hard drive, so Hideki decides to teach her about the world in the old-fashioned ways, while studying for his college entrance exam at the same time. Along with his friends, Hideki tries to unravel the mystery of Chi, who may be a Chobit, a urban legend about some special unit that has real human emotions and thoughts and love towards their owner, but can romance flourish between a Persicom and a human? I don't know. Because if a Chobits is able to procreate, then yes. She's kind of young though. She looks like a little teeny girl, like a 13-year-old girl. But it's a very good anime. Like, don't get me the wrong way, but you know, it's very good. Like, it's a very good anime. So yeah, guys, that does it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.